All right, we have made it now to the last developmental stage that we'll be looking at, which is called late adulthood. And this is from approximately 65 years or so and older. We'll start by looking at some of the physical and cognitive issues. Let's start by looking at life expectancy. You know, your author kind of provides you with lots of information about life expectancy and maximum life and things of that nature. One piece I wanted to draw your attention to is that education and income were positively linked to longer lives. So basically, what that means is that folks who get educated and have higher more financial resources are more likely to live longer. And that may be in part due to the financial piece, but also probably because of better decision making. They may know more about how the negative impact of some of the choices that people make and may not be as likely to make them. So by going to college, you're certainly putting yourself on the road to live a longer life. So hopefully it's a wonderful path for you. Now, let's look at activities of daily living. This is something that a lot of folks in late adulthood start to struggle with. The ADLs, as it's called, activities of daily living, can be either the basic ones or the instrumental ADLs. Basic is when they are having difficulty caring for their daily basic needs, such as being able to wash themselves, go to the bathroom themselves, feed themselves, things of that nature. This doesn't impact as many people, fortunately. It's a smaller number of folks that are impacted, but clearly you can imagine that having difficulties being independent in that capacity can be quite distressful for the person and also an enormous burden and pretty stressful for family members as well. The instrumental ADLs, these are tasks that aren't necessarily the basic version, but are things such as, maybe the housework or the food shopping. So maybe you can actually feed yourself, but you can't prepare your meals anymore. You might need help with bills or things of that nature. So this obviously would also impact family members because they would need to step up and go ahead and take care of some of these tasks, but it would not necessarily be as time consuming and maybe not a 24/7 scenario such as it might be with the ADLs. As you know, there are lots of different physical disabilities that can happen as you age. The body is aging and changing, and so you hear a lot of folks complaining about a lot of physical ailments, and these are true. Lots of folks are going to deal with different things. Arthritis is one of those that isn't really necessarily going to kill you, but can certainly negatively impact the quality of your life. So if you have trouble moving your joints, your hands, your knees, things of that nature, it's going to make mobility and tasks much more difficult to complete. Some other issues like diabetes tends to spike up a lot during late adulthood years too. So watching the diet and being careful about the choices you make is really important. It continues to be important. And another disability category is the unintentional injuries. So you hear a lot about folks maybe slipping in the bathtub. The bathroom is actually one of the most likely places for people to get hurt in the home environment, or falling down the stairs, things of that nature that can be much more difficult to recover from than if they happened when you were younger. So, assistive technology is really a fabulous way to try to help promote independence as long as possible. There are just so many different tools out there that can help people remain either on their own in their own apartment or house, or just kind of even if they were living with someone else to be able to function without asking for as much help. So here's a photograph of the bathroom, and clearly there's a lot of different things you can do in the bathroom, including bars, raised toilet seats, shower seats, things of that nature. But assistive technology goes way, way, way beyond that. You see those scooter chairs that kind of climb upstairs. There are lots of mobility issues. Scooters you can use in the ShopRite and the Walmart and things of that nature. You can also think about some more simple tools. It may sound silly, but even a shoehorn can help someone put their shoe on if they can't bend down and get their shoe on. It prevents them from having to bend down quite as far. Medication reminders, even like a little simple pill box so they can open it up and see if they took their pills yet that day. Lots and lots of great tools out there that can really help people be independent longer than if they didn't exist. The last topic we're going to talk about in this chapter is the cognitive one, and we're going to focus on dementia. Alzheimer's is the most common type of dementia. And this is very problematic. There's been a lot of, publicity and PR, I think, around the need to find treatments and cures for this disorder because it really is quite an awful, awful disease. So it begins with memory lapses and then, can shift into some pretty dramatic things, including personality change and folks at the very highly progressed stages of Alzheimer's may not even recognize family members. I mean, these are extremely difficult scenarios pretty much for all involved, and no surprise, it's going to result probably in higher levels of depression for the person, but also for the family member. Really can take quite a toll on the family members. So they've been trying to do a lot of different preventive techniques, and they have had some success. We haven't really come up with a cure yet for Alzheimer's, but there are some strategies you can read in your text about some of these protective factors and things that you can do to try to um, do everything within your power to prevent Alzheimer's by trying to keep your mind more active. And there's some medications that if you take them earlier on, it may at least prevent it from getting worse. We don't have a lot of evidence right now about really making it significantly better, which is why early intervention is really, really important. However, most folks at this age do not want to even let you know if they're forgetting things because they're fearful of having dementia and they don't want to even think about that. So it's hard to actually get those interventions to occur in a timely fashion. But the sooner we intervene, the better the likelihood of at least slowing the progression of this awful, awful disorder. All right, that's all we're going to talk about for Chapter 17, but you'll engage in the content through the rest of the chapter.